Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They flaunt that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, someone be too who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. There's an empire, fucking boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah. Hey, yeah, whoa, yeah, coming at me like that, like whoa, yeah, coming at me like that, like whoa, I don't even feel like that, like whoa, you ain't even see my stacks, like whoa, we up on the sea, but that's my bow, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like wish that I care, but I don't, and I swear if you want, we can flow, coming ready for the smoke, murder she wrote, but I don't even dare, I got places to go, coming ready for the show, sacred the goat, we got royal affairs, we gon' win on the low, coming ready for the glow, you taking notes, have a seat, take a chair, you may think that we cold, coming ready for the snow, try to bear the weight, but it's too heavy, try to get away, but it's too deadly, gotta keep it sharp so we stay edgy, can I get ahead so we stay ready, coming at me, that's sad, that's joke, I cannot believe these lies, I'm woke, all that greed, but why you broke, when y'all need, come get your folk. I actually soar over these waves, when I get paid, I gotta know, people to pay, places to go, watch what you say, watch what you coming at me like that, like whoa, I don't even feel like that, like whoa, you ain't even see my stacks, like whoa, we up on the sea, but that's my bow, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like I have set back, I'ma go and get that, I just wanna give back, people call me Big Black, I just got my whip back, asked me when I got here, told her that I've been back, brought a couple wins back, double cup of no act, I don't really have beef, but I'm still a Big Mac, and you know I got green, now we bridging the gap, flow with me and my team, cause we know how to scrap when you making a scene, came up from the dirt, yeah I know my worth, no I will not sell, niggas gotta work, do not kiss and tell, no I do not surf, but I'll ride these waves, so get up off my turf, I actually soar over these ways. When I get paid, I gotta know people to pay, places to go. Watch what you say, watch what you coming at me like that, like whoa. I don't even feel like that, like whoa. You ain't even see my stacks, like whoa. We up on the sea, but that's my bow. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Because
the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing. Testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3260 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yo-hos? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you as powered, is sponsored by Everson K2. Flexing on all you beaches. Hashtag Make America Swole. Drop that in the comments for a chance to win today's Swole card. Again, Make America Swole. Make America Swole. Could have been Make America Super Swole, but we decided just go for regular Swole. So drop that in the comments down below. And of course, check out swolenormousx.com to join the fam today. We got all the programming, all the new releases. Everything is over there at swolenormousx.com. We have the brand new My Swole Pony merch over at papaswolio.com. Check out all the new drops. We got My Swole Pony. We got a brand new Wind Down Yin class. And of course, we have some other featured classes and featured workouts that we dropped during Monday's meeting. So go and check that out. Fam, now it's time for that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, we got the first one today from Daniel. And Daniel's got a little Swole Maste going on. Hey fam, wish me luck doing my first yoga class teaching. This is the only shirt for the job. Nice. Swole Maste, Daniel. Swole Maste. We also have some more. Oops. We got one from Joan, and Joan says, I wanted to share this comparison photo because I'm really proud of how far I've come. I had someone ask me today if I had used semi-glutides to lose the weight. I said, nope, just started eating better and prioritized exercise and training. Pretty sure she didn't believe me, but I could care less. Hard work, good nutrition, and good training works. Keep after it, fam. January of 2024 and in April of 2025. So looking great. This is also in the Swolenormous app. Fantastic. Looking awesome. Good for you. And we got this from Ryan. Ryan says, well, fam, this may be one of my last workouts at Planet Fitness. I was warned of this place, and the lunk police killed my vibe. You can't breathe louder than a whisper here even once. I will stick to my home gym till I find a better gym. Don't go here if you have other options. Generally, I agree. Sometimes that's people's only option, but we know the Purple Planet is obviously a soft place to make some sick gains. So sorry to hear about that. I'm curious as to what the actual final straw was, if you got busted for the lunk alarm or if it was just going off around you. And it's pretty disheartening if you can't make some noise while you're lifting super heavy weights. But of course, there are many other fitness facilities that will be happy to help you make gains, even those places that make their profits off you paying a membership and not going and not making gains, and pizza parties and donut time and all that crap. Melissa, getting back to the accountability text, what of the pillars are you struggling with? Melissa says, everything has been going pretty smooth with the 7 pillars last 2 weeks. However, I'm always working on sleep. Going to bed a few minutes earlier is my goal right now, and that means being more efficient with my evening routine so I could wind down a little earlier and go to bed. No distractions. Thanks for everything, Melissa. Glad to hear it. Fam, let's get into some questions. Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We're just going to take from the Instagram stories and any live questions because we are running behind the schedule. For those of you that were here for the earlier stream, had some sound issues where I couldn't hear anything on my end. So I had to do a software update, which took like half an hour because it just takes a long time for operating system updates. So we'll take the first one today from
What's in the box?
Z Jansen. Papa Swolio, do you need to exercise if you have an active job stacking and lifting boxes and building pallets? So yes, that's physical activity, but it's not targeted actual training. So lift first, get up early. Maybe you have to get there early, but get up even earlier. Go train first, lift your heavy weights first. It'll make you feel better, give you more energy throughout the day. Remember, targeted strength training is not just general repetitive movement throughout the day. You're going to adapt to that very easily. And you're going to be very, very glad that you do strength training first. It's going to make it much, much better for your job, I promise you. Damien, Papa Swolio, how many years did it take to grow your hair, facial, and scalp? It didn't take my beard years, and it didn't take my hair years. So I didn't keep track. I didn't set a timer, but my hair is long. I get it trimmed and my beard cleaned up every couple weeks. So I don't really know. I get this question a lot as if it takes like 10 years to grow your hair out. So eating better, getting sleep, getting sun, collagen, all that good stuff is great for hair, beard, and scalp. And of course, using certain products can help your hair in terms of strength, in terms of quality, in terms of luster and all that stuff. So we got some more stuff coming for that. A lot of people ask me what I use in my hair. So very excited for some upcoming things that we will be discussing soon. Wrap it off. Papa Swolio, what kind of exercise would you recommend to a newbie at the gym? Join us over at swolenormousx.com and get on a quality strength training program. I'd recommend strength training with proper form and proper programming, proper recovery, the 7 pillars. Those are the types of exercises, the same types of exercise that someone more advanced would do. You're just going to start with lighter weight and you're going to learn how to strength train with proper form. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Wow.
Different exercises than someone else. Nope. You're a human being. Your body moves the same as another human's for the most part. So it's time for you to get on a quality program. Sam Menego, Papa Swolio, any advice on how to get wider in general? How to get wider in general, like a specific muscle group to work on. Wider. Lats, shoulders, getting bigger arms, bigger legs. You're going to get wider. You're not just going to get thick and skinny and narrow. You need bigger muscles. So you want to get big. You want to build muscle. Good for you. So yeah, lats will make you in a big, thick upper back. Don't forget, you have muscles in the back of your body. So if you want to look thick and you want to look wide and you want to look big from different angles, it's going to be big shoulders, big arms, big, thick back. You want to do those heavy upper back rows. You want to do a hip hinge. You want big legs. So you're going to get wider when you build muscle. The muscle will get larger and all the muscles around your body on every angle will get larger and you'll get wider. So yeah, all of those. Drop your question in the comments, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We're not going to take live from TikTok or anything today. We're going to crush right through. So if you have live questions, drop it in the comments down below, and then we're going to be moving on. GKeeper33, Papa Swolio, best way to work lower abs. I struggle the most with this. Leg raises, you want to make sure you're getting flexion and extension though. So just lifting your knees up doesn't train your abs. It's just isometric. So you want to make sure you're getting some spinal flexion. So that's how you do it. Hanging leg raises, you can use like a rounded support. You want to make sure you're getting that extension though, because you have lower abdominals, but not really. You have the origins and insertions. So just make sure you're getting flexion, extension, and that'll be fantastic for your abdominals. What you're probably referring to, and most people are, is that you can't see them because you're fat. You got fat and your cortisol levels are high, and your body will store body fat around your midsection because that's gravity and that's where your organs are, your intestines, and that's where bloating and inflammation is. So cutting down on leaky gut, making sure you're eating nutrient dense food, lifting weights, heavy strength training over your body, getting quality sleep, sunlight, all those things are important for minimizing extra fat storage. So make sure you're eating quality foods. Focus on that first before you start messing around with calories. People need to clean up their diets and clean up their environment. So that's the most important thing. Store Machine on Rumble. Let's see. I'm a side sleeper and I woke up with an intense shoulder pain in my front delt. It happens occasionally. Is there an exercise to release tension? Maybe rotator movements? Sure. Dead hangs, all those things. So if you have muscles that have a certain weakness or you slept improperly, you can get a body pillow and put your leg and your arm over. Those are great positions for your shoulders and for your arms. So I usually like to sleep on my back or on my side. So yeah, dead hangs are fantastic. Everyone should be doing dead hangs. Everyone should be doing dead hangs. It's great for grip strength and it's great for decompressing your shoulders and your spine. So I highly recommend people do dead hangs. It's a great thing to start the day with, of course. You can also do that before bed. Preston on YouTube. Is there a certain brand of white rice you buy? We get organic jasmine rice. That's our preference. Organic jasmine rice. And there's a bunch of good. And you have to make sure you wash it several times. So you get any impurities and arsenic and stuff off the rice. Okie dokie. Tommy McClurg. Baba Swole, what's your opinion on training 3 days a week? Upper body, lower body, heavy lifts? I'm not sure what your split is. If you're doing upper lower, you want to be training 4 days a week. If you're doing full body, you can do 3, or you could do 3.5, depending if you're just doing every other day. So upper body, lower body, it wouldn't be 3 days a week, it'd be 4. So upper lower rest, upper lower rest, or upper lower rest, upper lower rest, whatever you want to do. So you could do upper rest, lower rest, upper rest, lower rest. It really depends on your volume, your intensity, and all those things. But upper lower is a 4 day a week split. And that's plenty. That's plenty. It's fantastic. So the most important thing that people don't realize is you're getting the growth stimulus from providing the growth stimulus. And you want that growth stimulus to be as frequent as possible. That will balance out the volume, the intensity that you're doing. So if you're doing more volume, if you're doing more sets, then you need to make sure you're recovering enough. So if you're training intensely close to failure and you're doing 4 sets, you're going to, for a body part, you're going to need to recover a lot longer than if you do 2 or 1. So you want to see what you're able to recover from and then do that. So upper lower is a great 4 day a week split. Emma on YouTube. Papa Swolio, grocery store milk or farm fresh? Always farm fresh, if that's an option. That's a obvious answer. So farm fresh means raw dairy, I'm assuming. So raw dairy is fantastic. You can still find certain raw products in certain grocery stores. So just because it's in a building doesn't mean that it's a bad place to purchase. If you have a Sprouts or something like that, a lot of times they'll have raw dairy. Sometimes they'll say for pets or for livestock use only. That's just a legal prerequisite in some states. So high quality raw dairy is fantastic if you have access to it. If you don't, you want to get at least something that will say that it's low temp pasteurization or lightly. You want to make sure that it's not full blown pasteurization, but raw dairy is fantastic. So things from a farm and farm fresh are always great because not only are you getting generally higher quality products that aren't sitting on a shelf much longer, you're also supporting local farmers. So if you're going to a local farmer's market, it might be from even a couple 100 miles around, depending on where you live, but you have a lot of people that are bringing their wares right there directly. So you're supporting small businesses directly. So that's a benefit for that reason also. Elliot, Papa Swolio. Let's see. Papa Swolio, do you always eat food as fuel or do you also eat meals because it's yummy? It's a weird question. Food is fuel and quality food is also yummy. So I always eat delicious food and food is my fuel. Food is everything that your body is. When people start realizing that your body is only made up of what you consume, whether it's sun on your skin, your sleep, things you put on your skin, things you consume, that's all your body is made of. So if you give it shit, your body is going to have problems. Your body is going to be shit in some ways. You're going to have poor, maybe mitochondrial function. You're going to have poor digestion, leaky gut, all these different things. So your body is a product of what you consume and your habits. it is what it is. There we go. Last chance for questions. Last chance for questions. That's all we got from Instagram. So thank you, Instagram Stories, for providing a little framework. Let's see. A couple comments. Kelowna makes a low temp pasteurized milk that still has cream at the top. It's the best alternative I found, usually at Sprouts. So that's the next thing. So if it's not raw, it's low temp pasteurized. So just make the best choice that you can, whatever you have access to. Whatever you have access to. Let's see. Any other Planet Fitness experiences? Some people say they've never heard the alarm go off. I'm assuming it's also depending on where it is. I'm sure some Planet Fitnesses, the employees, like, they just don't really care. And then other ones, they might be. Remember, some of these jobs like that, you have people that never have any. That you have employees that are maybe little woke tards or sensitive, and they get a little power trip. They never had any power or control over anyone, or especially nothing in their own life. So if they can bring the hammer down, hey, you can't drop the weights, and they hit the lunk alarm, you might have some people on a power trip at certain Planet Fitnesses. Even though that's the rule, it's whether or not they enforce it. Because I've heard people that go there and like, oh, it never goes off, and I like my Planet Fitness. So I'm sure some are better than others, or the people that work there might suck. So hit or miss. Hit or miss. Alex, I bet high stress is probably why my physique never got where I wanted it to be when I was at my strongest last spring. It felt like I was always on the verge of a panic attack. Well, that's not good either. That's not good either. You don't want to be high strung or at that high level or high anxiety. So usually things in your life, meditation, solving problems, not letting things linger, understanding what the triggers are and your habits that lead to anxiety. Because anxiety is just kind of like this projection of those sympathetic feelings onto something that you can't control. So if you can't control it, why are you internalizing the stress about it? Just take the actions that you need to, or that you can take, and it is what it is, right? Life is not always going to be easy, but how you internalize and how you project that and how you manifest that into your emotions, that's something that's under your control. Takes practice, though. LET says, mine is in a small town and no one here cares about that stuff. I also never had a dude try to use the women's locker room. Well, that's good. Preston, what do you think of, I'm going to extrapolate this, nicotine or nicotine pouches? I think, like many things, there's a lot of negatives associated with all the other modalities of nicotine. There's a lot of benefits like neurological benefits for nicotine. I like cigars and stuff like that. So depending on your method, like most things, I think the American Heart Association and the medical systems are usually overwhelmingly trying to shove beneficial, natural, or holistic approaches to health under the rug. They're trying to demonize those things. So just because maybe smoking cigarettes is bad doesn't mean that nicotine itself is bad. So more and more research is coming out. And of course, it might sound more fringe, but anything that's beneficial to the human body, pharmaceutical companies want their cut. They want to make sure that they have the answer, and that's the only answer. So everything else is bad. If they can get you on a prescription, then it's good. So there's a lot of healthy and natural ways to address things in your life and to benefit you, and understand where the incentives are coming from when you hear negative things, and try to go to the source and check out the actual literature and the research. So it's usually the delivery mechanism. It's usually the delivery mechanism. So for example, you're smoking cigarettes. Yeah, you're inhaling smoke. And not only that, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of other artificial chemicals and stuff like, fiberglass and all these other things that are extremely, extremely addictive. But I feel no addiction of having cigars or nicotine. I feel no addiction whatsoever. Just neurological benefits. So there's that. That's why it's becoming more popular, because a lot of the veneer and the sham around quote unquote modern medicine, the cracks are everywhere. And people are realizing that they've been lied to about many, many things. So, and also when you start digging into some of this research, you realize how shoddy it is, and you realize how many papers and how much research has been suppressed, because it's not just about the studies. One, who's funding these studies? And a lot of studies that might be showing benefits to some of these things, they don't get they don't get accepted into these journals because it goes against who's funding the journals or where they get their funding from or where they have they want to get, I don't know, some sort of notoriety, or they want to have subscriptions to their journal in doctors' offices or to be approved by certain organizations. And if they, let's say, provide a paper or allow certain things to get published, then it might reflect poorly on other things. And then other people will pull their funding or not submit their papers to their journal, X, Y, and Z. So there's that also. All right. Any last questions? Any last questions? Drop in the comments down below. If we miss a question, we can take one in the balls deep portion, but because we had a little trouble getting started, let's get the day going. So let's keep it moving here. We're moving on.
That's deep.
All right. Cool. And of course, tomorrow, we'll be back with another show. So we'll see what happens. Should be good to go tomorrow. It's always fun. Like I'm sitting here ready to go for the show and then start it and then I can't hear anything. It's like, why? It's always when I start to stream, then it's like, hey, you have to change this. And one of the problems with operating systems is I'll update. That's the problem with some of these apps that happened with like the video, like a week or two ago, when a lot of these apps will, because you have operating systems, and whenever Apple, for example, updates their operating system, these apps have to make an update also. So if you update the app and then you don't update your operating system, then the app is updated, but the operating system is old. So there's a glitch or something doesn't match up. So then I have to go through and either, update the operating system or remove some of the updates and fix some of the issues. So at least updating, I'm glad there was an update for the operating system. I was crossing my fingers, but just a pain in the butt. So hopefully everything is good for at least the time being. So, and that's what they do. They force you to update, because then if you update one thing and then everything else is broken and then you have to update the next thing, it's bleh. And that's a pain in the butt, but we got it going. All right, let's get into some good questions. You could follow up with that. Let's pick a number 1, 2, or 3.
What's in the box?
Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got in here. Ooh, we got some scary stuff. We'll take this first one because it's 10 seconds. I don't even know what this is. It's blank to start. So it's called Undocumented. Let's see what we got here. Oh,
What's in the box?
I think I saw this clip.
My name is Gracia Martinez Rosas. I am
Sorry.
an immigrant. I am undocumented, unafraid, queer, and unashamed.
Okay, so you might need a forklift to take this one out of the country, but if you're giving a speech and you're like, I'm an immigrant, I am undocumented, that means you're here illegally. So if you're undocumented, Tom Homan, you have your next, literally, she's like, I am undocumented, I'm unafraid. Well, cool. Planes are safe, so you're on the next one. Here I am, take me out. Gross, you're also morbidly obese and we won't be missing you. So get out. Hey, I'm illegal. Come get me. Will do. Will do. We got that. Will do. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Let's do this one. This one's called Gender Fluid number 2. Loretta and PK want number 2. Fucking forklift. Shove her out.
Do you consider yourself a woman or a man?
Do you want to take a guess?
Based on the haircut, dude. Not based on the haircut, girl. Sweet lady. Non-binary. I had one of those earlier.
Yeah, well, gender fluid. Gender's a spectrum, right? There's man, woman, right?
A doctor told me I was on one of these, but it didn't feel sexual. What's your favorite food?
Fish.
Is that when you're being a guy liking a woman? How are you in a relationship currently? I assume not, since
I am in a relationship currently.
Wait, so can you be with other people as well?
No, this is.
What the hell are you doing? So you're cheating.
I don't know. I'm a yes man, so.
No, you're not. You're a yes them.
I'm a yes man. I gender myself when I feel like it.
Hell.
That's one of the benefits of being gender fluid, right? I can be a man now and a girl tomorrow, or in 5 minutes if I want to be.
Gender fluid, humans in disguise.
That's right, yeah.
I wonder, is this satire or is this real? Because the way it's edited, it's just really funny. Sometimes I feel like these are just actors. I mean, they are acting. Like this fucking woman, she's obviously a woman, obviously a woman. She's a female that wants attention. So if this is legit, it's a mental disorder. Obviously, you can't just go back and forth. But again, you can call yourself whatever you want, right? So we're given names at birth, and your name doesn't mean you're a male or a female, right? Leslie used to be a man's name, Leslie Nielsen. And I don't really know how many men are named Leslie these days, but a name is just a name. You're still a man or you're still a woman, depending on your name. So you can't just decide from day to day. That's obviously just an insane proposition. So if this is real, my God, you could send her on with the other, with Jabba the Hutt. You can send her overseas too. She can go to El Salvador. She could go to El Salvador. You can go. All right, one more here.
What's in the box?
Can't use the men's bathroom. Oh, for shame. If I saw this thing in a men's bathroom, I don't know what I'd do. Stay strapped, fam.
I can't pee in 4% of America right now. So
you can't pee in 4% of America.
In 4% of America, it is illegal for me to use the men's restroom in government buildings.
Oh no, you can't pee in a government building. The oppression, the horror, the oppression. Oh no.
Because of the biology bill that they just passed.
Yes, because I am biologically female, I cannot use the men's restroom in Florida or Utah.
Well, yes, based. I'm in Florida. Good. Excellent. Fantastic. That's awesome. I mean, we don't need more people in Florida, but I'm very glad that I'll never encounter this behemoth in a men's bathroom. Holy fucking shit. Good. Awesome. I love how this is supposed to be like, oh my God, I'm so oppressed. Everyone that has 3 brain cells is like, sweet. Cool. Awesome. Based Florida. Good shit.
Or Utah.
What would you say to people who would say, well, just use the family restroom or a gender neutral restroom if it's available? Like, what would your thoughts on that be?
What am I supposed to do if there isn't a gender neutral restroom available?
Go somewhere else.
Am I supposed to...
Yes.
Just hold it? Or am I supposed to just wet my pants? Literally, there's no point to it other than to keep trans people out of the spaces they belong in.
The trans people, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Look, I mean, I don't think anyone that has a mental disorder watches me. Maybe we all have a mental disorder. But yeah, it's not a thing. So you have a mental issue. That's what it should be. It should be mental disorders. Mental disorders are not allowed in people that... Mental disordered people are not allowed to be naked or to hang around in vulnerable private places that not mentally ill people frequent. It's like, Jesus Christ, this person probably wears a diaper anyway as a fetish. It's such a weird thing. It's such a weird thing. We've actually branded. We've branded and marketed mental disorders. So we just call it something different, and then it's not a mental disorder, right? We have to call it what it is. If I say I'm a rock, no one thinks that I'm a rock. All right. I want to live my life like a rock. Okay. You probably need some help. If I'm just like laying around in the yard, curled up, I'm a rock. That's probably, you should probably find that individual a room with padded walls and get some clipboards out and study this individual. This person thinks they're an inanimate object.
Because, they use the excuse of like, oh, how are you going to know if it's someone claiming to be a woman just to get into the women's restroom? And
it should be pretty fucking obvious. If it's not obvious, that's a problem. I mean, this person's literally wearing a mental illness hat. They're letting you know. It's not hard to point out if someone's not healthy. Use your eyes, and you can pretty much notice if they have a mental disorder. Use your eyes and your ears. Basic comprehension.
It's like those people are going to be doing things in the restroom that are going to set off red flags. You don't need an additional law on top of that to keep trans women out.
You don't need additional law. Well, the lunatic fringe on the left is requiring that. So again, we have laws already. You can't murder people. We don't need a new law for that. This is a men's room. This is a women's room. We don't need a new law. I mean, we might need it because if men are trying to be like, I'm a woman now, and they're going to the women's restroom, okay, we need to make a law. Hey, mentally ill men have to use the men's restroom. And if you don't, then that's illegal. A man cannot go in the women's restroom, and a woman cannot go in a men's restroom. That's it. That's it. It's pretty simple. There are already laws for that. So they're trying to create a new category, right? The breakdown and deconstruction of language. The reason why they use the term woman and they put trans in front of it is to be like female adjacent. So if you use the term woman, then most people will be like, oh, you're a trans woman, so you can go in the women's room. That's insane. That's insane. Call it what it is. A man that wants to pretend and has a fetish to be a woman, that's a mental disorder, and that should not be encouraged. These are children that never grew up. These are people that have serious mental disease and that need to be taken care of. They need to get healthy. They can't be in society. They can't be in a peaceful society. And again, they're not trying to create peace. They're trying to get control. They're trying to demand that you bow to their every whim. And if you give a millimeter, they're going to take an inch. You give an inch, they'll take a mile. And they already have. So put your foot down. Don't allow these mentally deranged individuals to run your life and to run your children's lives or to teach your children or be around your children. Because we all know the real reason why most of these lunatics want to be around kids. We know why. We know why. All right. Let's see. Do I have anything? Let's see. Did I have anything else? Did I have anything I wanted to share? Not yet today. Not today, Satan. Not today. Let's do a throwback. Jeremy says, I've never imagined we get to a place that using the correct restroom would be an issue. Yeah. So it's not surprising. You know, this is what deconstructionism is. Go back and read George Orwell's 1984. Go read that. Why do you think the theme of that book is 2 + 2 = 5? Why do you think it's 2 + 2 = 5? It doesn't equal 5. But if they can compel your speech and they can break down your soul and break down your integrity to agree with them, it's just control. It's just totalitarian control. If they can break your will to agree with the most fundamental, insane concept like 2 + 2 = 5, or a man could be a woman, then they can get you to do anything. And this is what we've seen over the last few years with being complicit or going along with totalitarian measures and taking experimental gene therapy. If you don't take the vaccine, you are an evil person. You're killing people. You're a dangerous. You're a vermin. You are, anti-vaxxers. You are just the dirty, the unwashed. That's what they try to get you to believe. And now we know there are major, major side effects, and you become a spike protein factory, and you get sick all the time, and you have heart inflammation and ovarian cancer and cysts and all these different mental disorders as a result of your body manufacturing these spike proteins and sending it all around. You compromise your immune system, you're in constant state of inflammation, and it's going to lead to physical and mental breakdown. So we're seeing that as a component also, not just social media and just the food. It's all these things combined, but this is a control tactic. They're trying to break your soul. And if they can break you down, and it's like the end of 1984, if they can make you believe, if they can force you to believe that 2 + 2 = 5, then they broke you. You win, or they win. And that's what 1984 is all about. That's what 1984 is all about. And the real evil here is that it's the toxic compassion. It's the idea that, oh, you're a mean person if you don't feed into someone's beliefs. If you don't feed into their mental illness, you're a bigot. You're a mean person. You're a bad person. You're a bigot. You're a white supremacist. You're blah, blah, blah. You're an evil white cis man, all that crap. It's just, if you don't say what we say and you don't agree with us, then you're bad. That's what a cult does. Anything that is not straight down the line, agree with every point, you're not one of us. And of course, everything else comes from that. All right. Did I say we're doing this throwback? Did I play the throwback sound? I think I did. Let's check this out.
Dating trans people is not a preference. Not dating blondes is a preference.
You are stupid. You are straight up stupid.
Being trans is not a specific characteristic.
Being trans is not a specific characteristic.
It's a dick.
It's a penis.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home?
It's a man. I don't want a dick in my mouth. Methinks it's a preference. That's not a preference. You like brunettes? Okay, that's a preference. But you have to like dick.
Thus, you can't label it as a preference.
Yes, you can.
It's just called bigotry.
No, it's not. Told
No
you.
one's forcing you to date trans people.
Sounds like you are.
This bitch is crazy.
You're shaming people for not
We're
dating
just
a
talking
trans
about
person.
Don't cover up your discriminatory bias in the name of preference, because the logic doesn't add up.
Shut up, bitch!
The logic doesn't add up. That's for goddamn sure. See? Right? You're a bigot. You're a bad person. If you don't like trans people, that's not a preference. If someone has blonde hair, that's a preference. But if they have a fucking cock, oh, you have to just take that. Right? So you're a bigot. You're a bigot if you don't want to suck this man's dick. Yeah, I'm a bigot. Yeah, go fuck yourself. But that's exactly what we're talking about before. If you don't agree, you're the bad person. You don't agree, it's the same thing. You don't agree that 2 + 2 = 5, you're a white supremacist. You're a bigot. You're transphobe. If you don't want to suck that dick, you're transphobic. You're a mean person. You're evil. You're a Republican. You must want to make America great again. I just don't want to suck dick. Like pretty much. Like if you're forcing me to suck dick, we got a problem. If you're asking me, hey, do you want to suck my dick? And I say no. Okay. Hey, it's an even exchange. You want my penis in your mouth? No, I don't. Okay, cool. Bye. If that was like a normal conversation. You want to suck my dick? No. You have to. Get on your knees. No, I won't. Get suck this fucking dick. That's the equivalent. No, I don't. Like they're forcing you. They're forcing you to want to have gay sex. And if you don't have gay sex, you're the bigot. How the fuck does that make sense? Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's normal now. It's normal. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do a double. Let's do a double one. This is one from 60 Minutes for a while ago, I think. Some other train wreck. There's a throwback, so who knows what we got here.
Always heard that it's the fast food. Is that true?
So I think we have to look at the different causes of obesity as a big pie. And that's one factor, using this part of the pie, right?
Stop eating pie. Stuffing your fucking face with processed trash, that's one factor.
But the number one cause of obesity
is them eating the entire fucking pie.
Is genetics. If you are born to parents that have obesity, you have a 50 to 85% likelihood of having the disease yourself.
This is actually, I've heard stuff like this. Doesn't mean you're going to be fucking fat, but like, yeah, if you have fat fucking parents that are pumped full of estrogens and they're eating garbage fucking,
they're feeding the
kids,
kids
child
that.
is obviously getting fed garbage because they have garbage fucking habits.
Based younger, Solio.
So when people see families that have obesity, the assumption is, what are they?
They don't have obesity. They are obese.
She is one terrific doctor.
Oh my God, that's right. People that suffer that have obesity. So then they're going to keep on playing. Well, if you're genetic, and because I guess in some of these neighborhoods, like they can't have like, I don't know, there's a lot of crime. What they want to do, what these leftists do is like, they're going to say that there's food deserts and, oh, there's a lot of crime here. So there's no real good food areas. Yeah. Whole Foods is not going to build they're not going to build a fucking Sprouts or a Whole Foods in the middle of inner city Chicago, because it's going to get robbed and burned to the fucking ground. So these same people, guess what? They're going to want to release criminal, illegal aliens into the country. They want gun violence. They'll take your guns away, but the criminals can have the guns. And then no one wants to live there. No one wants to open businesses, because every time, some black person, commits a crime and the cops have to, neutralize the situation because they pull a gun or a knife on them, BLM riots and then burns the city to the fucking ground. So no one wants to go there. No one's going to build a business on Main Street in Seattle because they know they're just going to get rocks through their window once a week. It's like, who the fuck wants to build a business in a city? The taxes are ridiculous. You can't protect your stores. There's no stand your ground laws. There's no cops. They don't give a shit. They facilitate all this violence. No business is going to be there. No business is going to be there. So what you need police. You need low crime. No one's going to build a fucking store. No one's going to build a store. No one's going to create a business that's just going to get burned to the ground the next time, I don't know, some person gets shot because they robbed a store and pulled a gun on a cop. It's like, oh my God, riot. What are you talking about? Yeah, throw criminals in jail. Throw them under the jail. If they're violent offenders, get them the fuck off the streets. Ship them to El Salvador. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. And I'm not saying if you're an American citizen, but you're, you know, you should be shipped out of the country, but you're a shitty citizen. So go to prison. Okay, fine. In this country. Okay. Ridiculous. 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 Yeah, that's a good one. AK. Yeah. People crying about food deserts are the ones with $500 sneakers. Yeah, right. They got $500 sneakers. They got a PS5. They have a fucking like a brand new like Glock or something. It's like, okay, well, you have, you got video games, you got sneakers, and you got guns, but you can't afford food. All right. So anyway, I'm not saying I have all the answers. Like, you need to do this, but look, it's all about incentives, right? So let's just talk about training dogs for a second, because people are like akin to dogs. They still need incentives in this sense. So it's much better if you want your dog to do something when you're training a dog, not to use negative reinforcement. Like, don't do that. Sure, if they pee on the floor, it's like, no, and then you take them outside, but you show them what's good, right? So when they do something you want, dog training is really about guiding the dog to do the thing on his own with a certain command and then rewarding that. So, oh, if I go over in this area, I get a treat. Let me stay around in this area because there's good things over here. Oh, if I put my nose near that, I get another treat. It's like hot and cold. Oh, I should go over here. You know, you can teach your dog to hit a bell when it wants to go outside or this, that, and the other by rewarding that. And then they know, oh, if I hit the bell, I go outside. In my opinion, that's annoying because then the dog's gonna be hitting the bell all the fucking time. And it's like, no, you go out when I tell you go out. But bottom line, you want positive reinforcement. So where's the positive reinforcement in this society? There's no incentive for people to open businesses in these places because it gets burned to the ground. So they're going to take their business elsewhere. This is the fundamental reason why the tariffs are being implemented. It's incentive. Okay. People don't understand incentive. Like, oh my God, my iPhone's going to be 40 grand. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not how this stuff works. What it does is incentivizes businesses to produce products in the United States. So if someone from France wants to sell something in the United States and we produce that same product, you have to pay a tax because we want to incentivize businesses to be creating these products in the United States. That's all it is. Okay. Rather than other countries stealing our wealth and sending all the jobs and work and effort and because people don't understand how the economy works. And that's why they're so scared. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to tax some things. Sure. So it's reciprocal tax. It balances out, but we're going to have more beneficial products being made here, which is going to drive down prices and incentives for competition. So other countries are going to make more effective goods, lower prices, United States, and then it's proper competition to deflate and to make better products for a better price. And the thing is, if you have 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 jobs going overseas, understand, people don't realize how much money is lost. Because it's not just about like, oh, you get your TV for a little bit cheaper. The reason why it's important to have manufacturing here is because think about it, 10,000 jobs, 20,000, 50,000 jobs in this country. Okay. So you might be like, oh, my iPhone went up $10 or my sneakers or my avocados are $1 more. Oh my God, the tariffs. It's like what you're doing. And I just use like random example. I just said words right there. So don't, certain things that we don't produce here, like if it's not bananas or avocados or, if only certain things are made in South America, it's like, okay, we can't produce it here. So there's no competition. So maybe certain products. So it can be very individualized. But the bottom line is if you have 50,000 people that are getting paid. So let's say you're manufacturing stuff here. Americans are making whatever it is. Let's say Americans are making a certain type of footwear here in the country. Guess what? All of those workers are getting paid in the United States. So guess what? They're using that money to buy groceries and to buy houses and to buy whatever the fuck in the United States. there you have it. So the money is actually staying here. We're not just sending it over there. We're not sending it to fucking Vietnam. We're not sending it to China. Why the fuck should we be paying them? Why don't we pay? And then it recycles here, and then prices come down, and there's, more prosperity in this country. That's a very vague, generalized concept with it, but it's the incentive. You want to incentivize a dog to do something. You want to reward good behavior. So what we're doing now is rewarding businesses from upping production in the United States. Businesses are getting rewarded for creating here instead of shipping jobs specifically to China. And everyone that's freaking out, I'm like, oh my God, China. A lot of things are made in China. A lot of things are made in Vietnam as well, and South Korea, or like all these other places, or Pakistan, or whatever it is. There's other countries. There's other countries where you can just say, hey, we're going to move our manufacturing. China's making this. And it's like, okay, you call a company in Vietnam. Hey, we're making socks. We need 10,000 socks a month. Can you guys make this one? Yeah, sure. Boom. And then you change your supplier. So I'm not saying there won't be some short-term bumpiness and people have to make some adjustments. There's always going to be pros and cons in the short term. But generally, that's the idea. The idea is to incentivize American ingenuity and industrialization. Is to incentivize things being created here, because then the money stays here and people benefit from jobs. So not only do you have 50,000, just with this number that I used earlier, 50,000 jobs here, the money is going to those people. It's going to those communities. It's going to those areas. It's going to all those stores and farmers markets and local businesses, X, Y, and Z. It's going here. There's incentives. There's incentives to make things here. There's incentive for the money here. Okay. If it's super expensive, there's so much red tape, you can't produce businesses. The government is shutting down small businesses. How many small businesses did we lose through the draconian lockdowns and COVID? That was just to shift wealth to the upper class. That was just to decimate small businesses. And when it's so much cheaper to make shit overseas, what's any business going to do? It's like, you're going to go to China. If you can get things 50% cheaper there, why would I can't do business here. Let's say it costs you $10 to make a product and you have to sell it for 12 and you're making $2 margin. What if you go to China and it's $5, even with shipping to the United States? It's like, well, I can sell it for 12 and make $7 rather than 2. So it's just math 101. It's like, it's just cheaper to go to China. So let's say all of a sudden now it's not $10 to produce a product in the United States. It's $5. It's $5 to make it in the United States. And now it's $10 to make it in China. I'm going to make it in the United States. Whoa. Gee whiz. You guys understand? That's basically the framing. It's incentive to bring it here. And by the way, that's a great point. When was he inaugurated? January 21st, right? February, March. It's not even 3 fucking months. It's not even 3 months. I'm not an expert on tariffs, but I've listened to many, many, many podcasts. I've read a lot about it. It's not complicated. It's not complicated. Oh my God, the stock market goes down. No shit. If it's not going down, it's going up. Like, it's one or the other. It's not like it's a fucking mind-blowing situation. It's always gone down or gone up. And over time, it goes up. I mean, I think most stocks and shit like that are just terrible investments anyway. You know, it's not keeping up with inflation, and there's all sorts of things that are going on regarding that. You guys know how I feel about that shit for the most part. Spilled coffee. But you get the point. It's incentives. On a very simple scale, it's incentivizing businesses to produce here. And I guess in the very, very, very short term, if there's certain products that we don't currently produce here, yeah, you got to move factories here. You got to build some stuff. You got to hire people and skilled labor. And okay, it might take, for certain industries like semiconductor chips and things like that, it might take a little bit to spool up some of that, some of those industries, but that's fine. You guys remember COVID, we can't be shut down and isolated from the outside world and depend on these other countries, especially when China's releasing viruses and, we didn't do it. Yeah, you fucking did. Yeah, we know where it came from, whether it was intentional or not. Like, we know where it came from. So I think this is also payback for that shit with the whole China tariffs thing. It's like, fuck you. You guys grifted, lied, sloppy behavior. Of course, it was funded by, you know, USAID and Fauci and EcoHealth Alliance and Peter Daszak and all this gain of function bullshit. So yeah, the US, you know, all these like these evil people just lying to the American people. You've been lied to over and over again. They fucking got away with it for now. But payback's a bitch. You've heard the phrasing, payback's a bitch, and it's all about weathering the storm. So again, ups, downs, don't buy into the fear mongering. Most people this doesn't affect. Most people this doesn't affect. The reason why the libtards are freaking out is because their trust funds dropped. You know, these are like the wealthy liberal elites that are angry, like, oh, the stock market, Trump is bad. No, Trump is a meanie. That's all it is. It's just the latest thing to kick and scream about, but it has to be done, and I support it. Okay. LET, cheap Chinese crap is exactly that and not worth having. I'll happily and do pay more for US-made products. I agree. Ellie. Remember when I know Cerny remembers this, but most of you remember like, I don't know, 80s, 90s when something made in Japan or China was looked at as garbage? Remember that? It still is mostly garbage. It's gotten a lot better because guess what? They've gotten better at producing stuff because we sent everything overseas. But remember when you said, oh, made in China, I'm not buying this Chinese fake knockoff crap. It used to be well known, at least in the 90s as I remember, that anything from China was garbage. Like, oh, it's made in China. Fuck this. And now, and then after a while, everything was just made in China and people didn't remember anything differently. But I remember just socially, you just know, you would look on the back and be like made in China, and you would just all of a sudden immediately associate it with some cheap knockoff crap. Yeah. Let's see here. Akan Donation. AKA and a nation, whatever then. There was plenty of pain when companies began shipping U.S. jobs overseas. Where were all the complainers then? Ah, indeed. 90% of pharmaceuticals are made in China. That is completely unacceptable and must be stopped. I agree. Look, it's like a drug. And I'm not saying pharmaceutical drugs, but I'm saying it's a drug. Cheap prices are a drug. You get addicted to like those cheap costs. You get addicted to that. Oh my God, it's so low. Oh my God, it's so low. I don't want it to go up. So if we think about it, a lot of production and things and items have been really cheap for a while, but it was hollowing out the middle class and killing small businesses. And then people got addicted to those. It was essentially like fake low prices. You're shipping it overseas for slave labor, bringing it back, and it's really, really cheap. So people get, ooh, it's so cheap. Oh, things are getting so much more expensive. Not really. They might just be going back to the price and like resettling as to where they originally were before we were getting bled dry. So it was a little bit of a scam. Hey, look, this is only $1.99 now. But then 10,000 people lost their jobs and now they're destitute and poor and suckling off the government for assistance. So it was really worth the cheaper price, not long term. And this is why we're suffering a lot, because if you have money that's worth nothing, and the US dollar is worth nothing, it's just paper, it's just fiat, it's by decree. So there's no value inherent behind it. It's based on the might of the US military and the government and, leverage, which is what Trump is using, which is why Bitcoin has and always will be a superior asset to everything else in the world, in my opinion. Not financial advice, just reality. So if you have this kind of, this is just a power play. It's a negotiating tactic. Like people, the reason why the left is using it is because they have nothing to leverage anymore. We know they're insane. They keep on going more and more insane. People are tired of the complaining. It's like Chicken Little, the sky is falling. Yeah, you said that for the last 10 years. The sky hasn't fallen. You've destroyed the country. In fact, you're the ones that are making the fucking sky fall. So we're getting the insane people out of office. We're getting rid of this ultra progressive, ultra liberal, globalist bullshit. And it takes time to suck out the poison. You've eroded the fucking country for decades, and it's going to take more than 3 months to fix shit. It's going to take more than 3 fucking months. Cruelty on YouTube. I didn't hear that. A reporter asked Trump if he could run for a third time. If he could run for president for a third time, but Democrats would bring Obama. Any thoughts? Oof, I think Obama will get smoked. I think he would get absolutely smoked. If that would actually happen, if it was going to be, round 3, the third term face off, Trump v. Obama. I think Obama would get crushed. And you saw it with Kamala Harris. Obama had no swing. Michelle's podcast is bombing. They've shown their true colors. Pun intended. That was a good one. But they have. And they have no leverage. They have no leverage anymore. They've been exposed as to having no control and no sway over the populace. I mean, there'll be a few people that'll be like, oh, he's back. No. Most people know. They see through the charade. I think we get absolutely smoked. Just like Kamala got smoked. They're just race baiters. Him and his wife. It's just complete bullshit artist. I agree. I think he gets smoked. I think that'd be a landslide again. Nothing to do with race. I mean, just Obama. He was garbage. 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 Tiff says the world has been ending since I could remember. Yeah, that's the same thing, right? The media was just one-sided. You had the newspapers and you had 5 channels on TV. So it was global cooling, then global warming, and then climate change, and then all these different things. But now once the internet really came to like full fruition, people see through the bullshit. So when you're screaming, the world is ending, this is over, this is over, this is over. You go outside, the sun's shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon's sizzling. You're out there, you're like, okay, it's pretty fucking nice. Seems pretty awesome. It's full of shit. They're full of shit. They want you to look at their screens. They want you to look at their pages. CNN wants you to go to CNN.com. They want to tell you what to think. Don't let them tell you what to think. You can look and laugh, but understand that they are trying to make money off you. They're trying to get views so they can sell advertising. If they get 200,000 views on their page, they can sell ad space to advertisers and make a little bit more money from Pfizer or some shit. That's the only reason that they're still around, is because pharmaceutical companies are funding these channels. It's all fucking drug addicts. It's all fat people injecting themselves with Ozempic and shit. That's all the pharmaceutical ads are on these channels. It's all the time. It's like 75% of their revenue. They don't have any revenue. People don't watch those channels anymore. They don't watch that shit. It's, quote, independent media. Okay, it's conversations. It's Vance and Rogan going on, Vance and Trump going on Rogan, and they're getting 50, 100 million views. It's everywhere and blah, blah, blah. You don't need that shit anymore. The legacy system has vastly underestimated how many views and how many people are on social media. We all know because we're on it, and I'm on it and I see it. And it's just, the veil has been lifted. The spell has been broken for so many people, and for more people that you don't go back under that spell in 2 years. You don't. It's the same thing like Wizard of Oz. Once you pull the curtain and like, oh, there's someone pulling the strings for Biden and for Kamala Harris. Like, oh, it's a scam. Fuck all you people. You don't forget that in 4 years. You don't forget that in 2 years. I don't see how the Democrats take back power. I would be so disappointed if they start winning in all these little fucking, like, you have to focus on these local elections and the midterms. Like, you got to keep the boot on the neck, literally. I mean, because these people the left will literally wipe you off the planet if they could. That's what the left does. They will literally burn your shit to the ground because that's all they do. They don't know how to build. They know how to destroy. Destroy language, destroy the economy, destroy any kind of social fabric, destroy, I say, language, destroy math, destroy education. They just destroy. They break things down and they add bloat. It's like gut inflammation. The left is just gut inflammation. Your immune system is on high alert all the time and it's constantly fighting off all this insane shit, and everything breaks down as a result of it. Okay. That's right. Oh, what do you mean his wife? Well, I mean, Big Mike. Big Mike. Barack and Big Mike. Yeah. Yeah. She's packing some salchicha there. All right. So let's give away today's Swole card. Good rant to end today's show. We'll be back tomorrow, and we shouldn't have any issues because everything's looking good. Everything's looking great. Everything's 100% right now. So let's give it away. Make America Swole. Hashtag Make America Swole. Drop in the comments. Make America swole, make America swole, make America swole, make America super, super motherfucking swole. All right, we got a winner today. It is Perlagrado. Congratulations. All right. Oh, with the smiley face.
Hi, puppy.
Oh, Make America Swole, smiley face. That's really nice. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, Swole card 3260. In the subject, your mailing address and the body of the email will send you today's Swole card. Congratulations. Awesome. Awesome. Good for you. Good for you. All right. So reminder, swolenormousx.com. Join the fam today. We got a lot of new releases over there in the Swolenormous app. You can download it on the App Store, Google Play. Featured this week, we got the Express Jungle Flow with Rachel, Swollen 7, Kettlebell Round 7, Legs Alpha. We have a brand new Wind Down Yin Yoga class, Express, with Alex. So that's fucking awesome. Thank you, Alex. And of course, we had the Calves Masterclass that I have that here, focusing on the stretch. Excellent for building those leg stems. And of course, my Swole Pony. Today I'm rocking the oversized Toxic Muscularity. We have the Curl Bears. We got a lot of great drops over there at papaswolio.com. Everything is 20% off. Wow. Wow. 20% off everything. You don't say, Papa Swolio. No, Falcon. We don't congratulate just because they get 20% off. We don't congratulate. Okay? We don't do that. That's only for the Swole card. Thank you. Motherfucker. All right, swolenormousx.com to join the fam. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Yeah, boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard to the paint you. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons.